Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. On today's episode, we're talking last night's Monday Night Raw, featuring what could be the beginning of an actual real sustained push for LA Knight. We're going to talk about his promo off with Les Miz. But first, we've got some word on the tribal chief Roman Reigns possibly, maybe being injured or at least working the Summerslam match. A little bit hurt. Larson, what's the latest on this?
So this comes from Dave Meltzer. He broke the news in the latest Wrestling Observer Radio that Roman Reigns sustained an injury early in his match against Jey Uso at SummerSlam, saying the following. These transcripts come to you from Wrestle Talk. Quote, he's going to be back Friday. Roman Reigns got hurt in that match. Roman Reigns got hurt in the match. And I haven't watched the beginning of the match over again, but I heard it was relatively early. I don't know the nature of the injury. I just know he worked the match hurt. He worked the match hurt. He got hurt early in the match.
Sometimes it's like
that's verbatim Meltzer. So
like a Dr. Seuss book there.
I know. Fightful Select confirmed the injury following Meltzer's initial report and added that thus far nothing has changed as far as creative plans in response to Roman apparently being hurt. If, granted it's only, 3 days, 2.5 days after SummerSlam, if he's still scheduled to be there Friday, if they haven't changed anything thus far. I mean, he put a picture up on Twitter, I think it was, the day after SummerSlam. He was on vacation on a beach somewhere.
Yeah, right.
Guessing whatever this injury is must not be that severe.
Yeah.
If he's hopped the plane to go to, Cancun or the Bahamas or something.
Yeah, right.
So I'd be shocked if this was anything serious. Not to say he won't take some time off, maybe, to heal up, but I don't think at this juncture, based on the information we have, this doesn't seem like anything that's going to require him to vacate the title.
Well, the good thing about the tribal chief setup, which nobody gets, including Seth Rollins, even though he probably wants it. Yeah. The great thing about the tribal chief setup is that there's a lot of time off. You know, this was his first title defense since WrestleMania. Yeah. And this is SummerSlam. Not to say he hasn't had long matches since then. Of course, Money in the Bank he did. But yeah, I mean, given that this did happen, and I know I saw a clip on Twitter of a suicide dive that seemed to have some sort of miscommunication there, and people were speculating that might have been it. The fact that he wrestled the rest of the 3-hour-long match and took some, bumps, some nasty bumps, and did pretty much everything that you would. Yeah. Right, exactly, and did everything you figured the dude would do. That's why I didn't put in the title of this, Roman Reigns injured, because like usually an injury is something that like you're dealing with or needs surgery for. The guy evidently got hurt. Time, yes. Right, exactly. Right. Like Sonya Deville. As we mentioned towards the tail end of our show yesterday, she's actually injured. She has like a torn ACL. She's going to need. She's in surgery probably today on that one, or yesterday, whatever it was,
or soon. Yeah, or if not, it hasn't happened yet. Soon. Sometimes I wait till the swelling subsides. So.
Well, I think she said in her video post that she would be going into surgery tomorrow, which would be today. So I think that's what's happening. Yeah. But yeah, with Roman, there's no report that that's happening. As you said, he was enjoying some Mai Tais out there on the beach.
Yeah. And umbrella service, as he put it.
Right. The umbrella service. Exactly. So hopefully it's much ado about nothing. If there was some sort of, a turn with this where he would have to sit out title defenses for a spell. This is like the one situation where I'd be like, do an interim champion.
Yeah,
do an
exactly.
interim champion. Do not vacate this thing. You can't do it. I don't care if it's 6 months. You do an interim champion so that Roman's forever champion. You can kayfabe it by saying Paul Heyman politicked his way into it. It's a special circumstance. But yeah, no, you do an interim champion and then you just give it right back to Roman when he's back and ready to come back.
Exactly. Yeah. I was thinking the same thing today. Yeah, I'm not a massive advocate in the world of pro wrestling for interim championships, but this would seem to be a situation where it would be fitting.
Mm-hmm, yeah, exactly. So yeah, something to keep an eye on, but apparently he's still supposed to be there on SmackDown.
Yeah, on Friday. Where apparently Jimmy's going to acknowledge him. That's what they're advertising on Raw.
That's what they're saying. Yeah, what was there was like a formal title for it, like a tribal celebration or a chief celebration, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Anyways, let's talk about. Actually, I just want to bring this up real quick before we dive into Raw. this Saturday. I think it's Saturday, right?
It is Saturday the 12th, right?
Triple Mania. This Saturday, August 12th. It's the other A month. And we're going to be doing a live watch along. Of course, as usual, no review. We don't review these things. But we're going to do live watch along on both platforms. So if you're not doing anything, come hang out with us. It's probably like $20 or $30 on Fight. Or you might be able to, yeah.
Can't confirm it's August 12th. Yes.
I mean, I'm just saying. Last time, maybe it was just people playing a video game that looked exactly like Triple Mania, but on Twitch there was definitely some Triple Mania.
Good
going
searching.
Right.
Never know what's going to pop up. That's what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You don't know.
Yeah.
It could be a hot tub stream. Could be Triple Mania. I don't know. Probably be there though. But the sure bet on finding it is on Fight
go
TV.
Fight. Yeah.
Anyways.
Exactly. Yeah, usually like $20, $25 for Triple Manias.
I think it might be 30.
Here, I'll check that.
Maybe it's 30. I don't know.
See if it's up already.
Is it up? 25, 30, 40?
Yeah, there it is.
What is it? $29.99?
Oh, no, that's not the actual thing. Carry on, I'll find it.
So anyways, LA Knight,
Yeah.
showed up on Monday Night Raw. I don't know if that means that. What?
Oh, that's the bundle. The bundle's 60. That must be for all three of them.
Oh, so it must be 30 each, and then they do it lower for the bundle?
Yeah.
Okay. What a
That
good
makes
deal.
sense.
Would have been a
Or
good
25
deal.
each, and then lower for the bundle.
Yeah, it could be. I didn't take advantage of that, so we're just gonna buy or to put on the company card, and then we can just write it off. That means it's free.
Oh, it's $23.
Oh shit! Really? That's nothing. That's awesome.
That's a bargain.
That is a bargain. Oh my gosh. Sam Adonis, and then 3 other guys. Roosh.
Yeah. Roosh.
L.A. Park and Psycho Clown. Is that right?
That sounds right. Yeah.
It's the big fatal 4-way. Whoever gets pinned loses whatever they have on their head.
Mask or hair, yeah.
A mascaris or some
hair.
What is it? Palo? Is that hair? I think Palo is hair.
I don't remember.
Maggie. Anyways, talk about L.A. Knight. He's on all brands now. He's the megastar. And it seems like Larson, WWE might want to see if he's the real deal. They're actually trying to get this, flesh out his character.
I noticed that too. Like he actually reacted to things Miz said. I mean, briefly. And he didn't necessarily seem too upset about any of the barbs that Miz threw his way. But for the first time in a promo thing, he was like, oh, okay, I hear what you're saying. I'm listening. I'm considering it before speaking and reacting, which against Bray Wyatt, that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
Bray would throw something his way in LA Knight instantly.
No.
Would fire right back.
Yeah. There has been a change in how they're approaching LA Knight. Time will tell whether it's going to work or not. The crowd still pops huge for him. The crowd was and every single. It's interesting because I don't know if I want him to do so good, but I approach it with a bit more of a critical eye than I think a lot of people. I appreciate the substance. I really do. And it seems obvious that 2 things are happening. Number one, WWE is like, okay, dude, they love you. You're a babyface. So you can't call everybody dummies. You have to start doing the babyface thing where you acknowledge their accomplishments, which I'll be honest, I hate that. I don't like that at all. Yeah. But it's also a sign that they want to see if this dude is for real. They want to see if this is more than just, which we could debate as to whether or not he needs to be more. But
I mean, I feel like in this instance, the answer is obviously no.
That being said, I do like that they are seeing what he can handle, because here's the thing. When you advance up the ladder in the WWE, or at least I guess for some people, they want to make sure, okay, that you can, I guess, maybe match wits with a variety of opponents, that they can tell stories with your character, and to do that, you need some layers to your character, because
I think that's more the thing rather than matching wits is if your whole thing is you're Teflon to anybody's insults, then where's the story there? You got John Cena in there even, dropping some A material on LA Knight, and he just goes, nah, and just unleashes on John Cena. There's no give and take there. I understand that. I understand the need to develop some depth to LA Knight, so there is that give and take. I understand.
Yeah.
mean, I think there's some fun stories you could tell with LA Knight being Teflon to anybody's insults. Because last night it wasn't like he was all that hurts. Anything Miz said, he just kind of took a second, thought about it, right back to it. You know,
it was a conversation, and dude, I'll be honest, I really appreciate what I saw because to a degree, it's obviously outside LA Knight's comfort zone.
Yeah,
you know, like this dude is simply just used to calling people dummies and incels, and throwing a bunch of yas at them, and then that's what he calls it a day. But yeah, I think in order to tell stories, you're going to have to, the character has to have some sort of, even The Rock, which a lot of people obviously draw comparisons to, all the way to Kevin Nash downright calling him a clone. But even The Rock, he got to. He responded like when the crowd wasn't, would give him shit. When Stone Cold would give him shit, he would. There she goes. He would respond like he would absorb it and then have to figure out a way to fire back. Well, if you're Teflon, it just doesn't work. And so where's every character has to have some sort of Achilles heel, as it is, some sort of vulnerability for the stories to work. And I love the fact that they're saying, okay, LA Knight, Sean, because I don't know what they call him backstage. Probably Knight, maybe Sean. Maybe. I don't know either. They're like, look, we're going to develop you as a character. So Miz is basically going to say, you're a cosplayer. What's your deal? And LA Knight then had to say, I've been for 2 decades now, I've been on the outside looking in as WWE bet on the wrong horses, guys like you. But now I'm here and I'm a dangerous man. It's his dangerous man promo. I really liked it, and I liked that it wasn't as polished as we typically see LA Knight. He had to respond to the crowd, to a portion of the crowd chanting Miz. He had to respond when Miz said the Stones line, and I think it might have been improv LA Knight stepping back and saying, "Oh, we're not talking about your tiny stones down there. You're stepping. You're talking the stepping stone line." And he flubbed the line and he recovered. And it's like, if you're going to get involved in stories, you're going to have to start exploring some personality. And I think this was a terrific first step for him. WWE obviously knows they have something with him, and now they want to see where they can go with that. And as he's been a million times over, The Miz is not a terrible place to start with that.
Especially if it's going to be a situation where a vast majority of the feud is going to be carried on the mic.
Yeah.
You know, if you can put the two of them in the ring for 5 minutes and just have them insult each other back and forth to see who can get one up on the other. I mean, Miz has been wrestling for 20 years. He's a perfectly fine wrestler. LA Knight's a totally competent wrestler. They're not going to blow people away with their in-ring work, though.
True. Yeah.
You know, so you got to carry this from a storyline perspective on the mic. And that's predominantly the reason LA Knight's over anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Let's go out there, let him talk. Let him insult whoever he's in a feud with, and have him win the feud, and he should, you would think, eventually start moving up the ladder.
I think that's probably the situation. And you know what's really kind of shocking, dude, is that they've currently got the United States Championship on a guy who has not proven to be anything but one-dimensional since his main roster call-up. Not true in NXT. I thought that's where Austin Theory showed me that this guy's got a lot to offer. But it's stunning that ever since he got to main roster, he has been just stuck in this one-note character that they will not let him, even though we have seen time after time after time in every single non-sort of canon, I guess, like, digital exclusive, whatever they do with Austin Theory that isn't sort of on main roster TV, you can see the guy has it, and they seem completely uninterested in exploring it, or at least they're just putting it off until they figure, I don't know whatever reason, or they're relying on him to bring it. But in the case of LA Knight, it does seem like there is going to be a concerted effort to see if this guy can demonstrate that there's more than just the and the Teflon insults. And I hope he succeeds. The dude's been in the business for a very long time, just like his promo said, he's been on the outside looking in, and finally the crowd, it's got to be very satisfying when you look at him at that press conference afterwards, after winning the Slim Jim Battle Royale, and you see, to be working for such a long time and not being in the big leagues. And I remember there was an interview in the lead up to Money in the Bank, I think it was, and I'm pretty sure it was with Chris Van Vliet, where he said he was like, you know what, I had reached a certain point in my career. I was in the NWA, but I was leaving there. And he just called, he said, I figured I would just give WWE one more try. So he called some people. That wasn't them contacting him. According to him, it was, I was on the verge. He could have just left, but he was like, I'll give this one more try. And that's the one that hit. They brought him in for NXT, and then, one thing led to another.
Here we are now, yeah.
So, I'd like to see a guy who, as all those clips of him appearing in commercials and whatnot have illustrated, the guy has been a hustler, and he's been on the grind for a long time. And it's not like they scooped him up when he was 22 years old and put him in the system. He's been doing the LA Knight system.
Yeah, he has been. He's been doing the Eli Drake system,
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And I really do hope that he's able to, take advantage of this opportunity, man.
I hope so too, and I imagine at least early on that's going to be the common refrain we hear from people he's feuding with is, I've been here, I made it here, why did it take you so long? And so he has to continue this thread of it was nothing to do with me. I've been out there grinding, putting in the work, and he could say, as he did last night, I deserved a spot here. They just weren't looking in my direction. They were kept passing me by, in lieu of, in the case of the Miz, betting on the wrong horse. Say, with the inference is, if I was in your spot, Miz, you look at all your accolades, I could have done better than that.
Yeah, right.
So I imagine we'll get a lot of that early on until he, in the eyes of the WWE locker room and kayfabe, proves that he belongs at WWE.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to do. I wonder how many sort of tryout feuds there's going to be. Like, is this going to be the big one before, they decide to take him a different direction, or move him up the ladder? I don't see him being the guy to take the title off Gunther, but he could clearly get the U.S. title.
Absolutely.
And you got to wonder, is this going to be a feud that's going to go over to both brands, or is it going to stick on Raw because he's a SmackDown guy?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how all that plays out. I mean, honestly, if it's me, I'd put LA Knight on Raw, NXT, SmackDown, Dynamite, Collision,
Level Up,
like shoot
a match like Triple Mania this weekend.
Like put him in like at WrestleMania 1. You sort of like you scan him and take out.
Oh wow.
Well, you don't take out Mr. Wonderful. That's Maggie's favorite wrestler, Mr. Wonderful.
Yes.
You don't take him out, but maybe like Hogan, take him out.
Yeah.
Or what's his face? Piper, maybe take Piper out.
Cowboy Bob Orton.
That's going to be a thing, before too long. We'll just be able to be like, oh, hey, can we load up WrestleMania except AI? Can you please put LA Knight in? Can you replace everybody at WrestleMania 1 with LA Knight?
With LA Knight.
Working, computing, and then you just watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, Mania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Biggest stage of them all. Fazzy Wazzy here has been a member for 42 months now. 42 months.
We haven't even been doing that.
No, we haven't even
that long. It's been like 3
close.
weeks. How is that even possible?
He says, how it goes at Friendo's. Best wishes from a balmy San Antonio, Texas. Man, there's a lot of crazy weather out in the world right now, including in this United States of America. Please be safe out there.
Yes.
When I understand, like over there on the other side of the country is getting hit
East Coast.
pretty hard.
Yeah, wild weather going on over there.
Oh, it's nuts, man. All this climate change.
Crazy.
It's a mess, dude. You got to do something about it.
Yeah, you got that right.
High Plains Drifter has re-upped for 17 months as a channel member. Says they better not new Coke LA Knight. Nah. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Richard JR. Oh, man. Says Roman Reigns might play possum to be at WWE Payback for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship against Grayson Waller. Okay, that's a possibility, I guess.
Waller, huh?
I guess so, yeah.
Interesting.
Anyways, those channel members, they get access, as do our patrons at patreon.com/Stephen Larson. They get access to our bonus shows on Friday. They get access to our question threads. They get access to the huge predictions challenges.
That's what I was waiting for.
Our new champion, John Fear and Loathing. There he is. I mean, that's actually just a picture of Christian, but that's a picture he wanted Big Blue on. because he won the SummerSlam predictions. Flannelly Dan is still out there with the Money in the Bank briefcase, and the G1 winner is yet to be determined. We're heading into the final stretch.
We got a close one here. We got seven competitors here within 3 points of the leader. Still plenty of time for anybody to make up ground.
Yep.
Including this guy.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah, man. How do you feel about being just a scotch? Just a scotch.
All I can say is, damn it, evil. Damn it, evil.
Yeah, that's not surprising. Evil's been.
No.
You know, remember?
Yeah.
That house of torture, man. They got you.
They did.
They got you.
They got me good.
They gave you the billionaire finger trap. Anyways,
they did.
So once again, also on Raw, they teased a big Cody versus Seth World Heavyweight Championship feud. But before they could really get too deep into it, we had Judgment Day, and then later on in the episode, by the time all was said and done, it looks like Seth's new opponent has been figured out, and maybe to a degree, maybe Cody's new opponent if they're going to go with the Judgment Day, perhaps with Cody. Seth versus Shinsuke Nakamura offered up his services in place of an injured Sami Zayn, who evidently had a tennis ball in his elbow.
It's the Bursa sack. It gets
The
filled with
Bursa
fluid.
sack, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You just gotta take a little pin to go pop it.
I don't think it works that way. You
I
just
don't
gotta
think
wait
you
for
do that.
You just gotta wait for that to subside. That's all you
Yeah,
can do.
right. So Nakamura, Cody, and Seth took on the Judgment Day in the main event. And after all was said and done, Nakamura lays out Seth Rollins. This feud probably, I would imagine, is going to be the payback match.
You think
Nakamura versus Rollins. Is Shinsuke Nakamura going to be our new World Heavyweight Champion, Larson?
No.
Yeah.
No, this is, I know Nakamura beat Bronson Reed last night prior to the tag match, but prior to that win over Bronson Reed, Nakamura has been a 500 wrestler since his return.
Yeah.
You know, the story is he's tired of people getting involved in this business. He's tired of it. And so, that doesn't necessarily lead to inevitable title win.
Yeah.
That particular story. So, no, Seth is going to retain. If Seth's going to drop it, it's going to be at Rumble or WrestleMania.
Well, okay, here's the big thing, though. The briefcase. The attaché case is out there.
Sorry. He's not going to lose to Nakamura. And
Right.
then if outside of a cash-in, yes, it would be at Rumble, Mania, something like that.
If Seth were to, your point is, if Seth were to lose to a guy, to like straight up to like whoever's going to take it off him, it's going to be at one of the big four. It's going to be a big deal. Nakamura is sort of a placeholder. That being said, could they use Nakamura as a guy who's strong enough to get Seth Rollins down so that Damian Priest
softens up
right
Seth enough so Priest tries to cash in only for Finn Balor to jack with him?
Or JD
because that's where we're going.
Or JD McDonough.
Or JD, yes, because that's where we're going. Is again last night. I'll kind of move on to this because it's the same match. When Finn got his hands on the briefcase last night toward the finish of that match, and he had an opportunity to blast Cody, the legal competitor in the match, or blast Seth Rollins. I understand he's obsessed with going after Seth and winning the title. I get it. But him making a mad dash towards Seth like CM Punk did his first MMA fight, the result was the same.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Finn got wrecked.
Yeah.
Seth super kicked the briefcase right in his head.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's another instance of making Finn out to look like an absolute fool.
Yeah.
I get the motivation. It just feels like it's so one-dimensional in that he looks like kind of an idiot in terms of how he pursues going after Seth at times.
You know, dude, and it seems clear that they're fine with equating somebody who's consumed with vengeance. You know, I know we don't talk about this movie very often, but Wrath of Khan, right? A guy is so consumed with vengeance. But Larson, I don't think Khan ever came off as kind of a bumbling idiot.
No, but he did rely on what? Two-dimensional thinking.
Wasn't it one-dimensional thinking?
Two-dimensional thinking.
Two-dimensional thinking, yeah.
Because rather than doing forward or back or side to side, they went down.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know. And like Khan, once he realized there was an opportunity in front of him, he hashed a plan.
Yeah.
And up to a moment, it worked well for him.
Right, exactly.
I don't feel like Finn really at any point has ever had a real plan.
Yeah.
In terms of how to take that title off Seth. It's just march forward. Vengeance is my motivation, and that's the extent of it. There's no plan.
Right.
I don't feel like there's any plan in place.
Yeah, I've never read Moby Dick, but I don't know if Ahab had the similar issues here with his whale as Finn has with Seth Rollins. But
And it's entirely possible.
he kind of looks like an idiot right now.
Yeah, he does.
But so I don't know, dude. How do you see this whole Judgment Day thing playing out? Like, now, they finally reintroduced J.D. McDonough to the thing as Finn's wingman, basically. Priest saying, "Hey, can we talk business?" And then Finn's like, "Oh, you can talk in front of this guy." And JD's like, "You got to get rid of that briefcase." And Priest's like, "The fuck?" And
Yeah,
even I'm sitting there like, "Man, we're straying into AEW territory of people who need to fuck off."
Yeah.
And JD is definitely that guy as it pertains to Judgment Day, man.
You got that right.
I was disappointed that Rhea Ripley didn't rip a new one. Like, she's like, "Priest, don't worry about it." She should have been like, "Hey, JD, hit the skids."
I know.
Tiny.
Kick rocks. Kick rocks, JD.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. All she said was like, "You don't have to listen to him. He's not Judgment Day."
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like, it seems like Finn's got an open invitation to him, seemingly.
She needs to check Finn. She needs to check JD. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know how that's all going to play out. I feel like Priest has got too much. Man, they're not going to have Finn or JD fuck over Priest on this cash in, right?
Entirely possible.
He's got to cash in successfully. Otherwise, he looks like a big dummy.
I mean, they don't seem to mind making members of Judgment Day look like huge dummies, Steve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, Rhea is really the only one who is seemingly immune from that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know? I mean, Dom, not a lot, but Priest and Finn, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that remains to be. But I'm really sort of curious if they actually have a plan for all that. Like, what the situation is. I really don't know. Yeah,
I don't know what the end game is. Is the story just, hey, we're going to have tension between Finn and Priest, and it's going to this cause a lot of issues within Judgment Day. All right, that's the start. That's the genesis of the story.
Yeah, right.
Where is it going?
Yeah.
What's the end game? What's the resolution?
Speaking of resolutions, we had a resolution to who the new #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship is, and it's Chad Gable. So in a freaking Mark Fatal 4-Way, man. These are all the people that people love, man. Ciampa, Gable, Riddle. Sorry, Riddle was there too. And Ricochet, but really like four of their best in-ring guys. Because say what you will about Riddle, he is one of the best in-ring guys.
He's a good in-ring competitor. Yeah.
He really is. Chad Gable, after you got to wonder if the Gunther match, the Beat the Clock Challenge Gunther match, was maybe like, okay, let's feel this out, see what people think about him. Well, he won this Fatal 4-Way, which is a really, really fun match. This was absolutely terrific.
Yeah. And it was in his hometown.
Right, yeah.
After he won, he grabbed his son from the crowd and was celebrating with him around the ringside area.
So cute, man.
It really was. Like, his son had the matching singlet on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Same thing that same design that Gable had on his. It really was. Yeah, I mean, if it's obviously Chad Gable's, you go on social media, he's got a lot of groundwell of support.
Yeah, right.
For a singles run.
Yeah.
You know, I think people acknowledge that he's one of the best in-ring competitors they got there.
Yeah, absolutely is, yeah.
And he's full of charisma, and he's showing that all through the Alpha Academy stuff. And I think people are really starting to really get behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And if, maybe the Gunther Beat the Clock deal was, as you mentioned, kind of like a trial. Here, let's see how he fares here. Let's see how the crowd reacts if he gets a symbolic victory over Gunther. Oh, they're into it? All right. Great. Next week, Raw in his hometown. Crowd's going to be 100% behind him. Mm-hmm. He's going to have a massive pop when he wins. So let's give this a go.
Yeah.
The match is going to be spectacular. He's not going to win, at least not before Gunther breaks that record.
Well, let's talk about that. Do you think Gable might be I don't know when they're going to do #1. That record is coming up pretty shortly. I think it's in September.
About 30 some days.
Okay. So they're like a month away from that. When is Payback is before then, though?
It is, I believe, yeah. So that'd be the October. It'd be Fastlane.
I mean, I don't know. There's any number of people I could probably think of that could be the guy to take it off Gunther. I mean, I don't know if this is gonna. It's probably just gonna be like, okay, let's feel it out and see who the person's gonna be. I don't know that I see that for Gable. But if they plan for an extended feud between the two groups, It's a possibility. I think there's a few people above Gable. There's not that many people that would be sort of better than Gable. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. I've heard the name, for example, Ilya, who's still in NXT, in which case, who the hell knows when, that would even be if they want to give Gunther like just a ridiculous amount of time with this title. Survivor Series is the next big 4 pay-per-view. If Gunther drops his title, it's got to be at a big pay-per-view. If he loses the match against Gunther, but then is able to find a way back to him, you got to feel like that would be the match where he probably would end up taking the title.
Yeah. I mean, if they want a situation where someone beats Gunther and makes that guy, I mean, you could do a lot worse than Chad Gable.
You really could, yeah, right.
Like a situation where Drew McIntyre were to beat Gunther. All right. Drew's not going to be made by beating Gunther.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Drew's already a former 2-time champion,
Yeah, it's kind of a step down, yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of, it's kind of the same thing with Roman. Whoever beats Roman is going to make that guy. It's going to make him as face of the company, basically.
Right, exactly, yeah.
This is not quite to that extent, but, if you really want to elevate somebody up to the upper mid-card, and have him beat Gunther, totally makes sense.
September 9th. Somebody said September 9th is the day.
That's the day he'll break the record. Okay, that's a week after. It's a week after Payback.
So it's a month from tomorrow. Yeah.
So maybe the September 10th episode of Raw.
Oh God, they'd wait 1 day later. Let's just get it done.
Yeah, get it out of the way. New record.
I mean, look, Bianca broke the record that they had, and it was like really soon after that.
Next pay-per-view, she lost, basically.
Yeah, right. So I could see that being the case. They like to set up these records. You hope that's going to give Gunther a lot of, job security, being the guy with the record. But so yeah, that's all good stuff. Let's go ahead and dive into it. Now that we've talked about it for a long time.
Sure.
It was a commercial-free first hour. Well, sorry. It was a commercial-free first 55 minutes. Does that bother you? I'll be honest with you. It's the stupidest little thing that shouldn't bother me. But when they say the first hour, it should be the first hour, not the first 55 minutes.
Well, here's the thing is the first hour might be commercial free. Guess what? The next 2 hours are doubling up on the commercials.
And where they were going to have commercials in the first hour, guess what? They have a ton of recaps.
They have recaps. Yeah, I know.
So it's really not
like
worth it.
It's not like you're not getting the first hour's commercials entirely. No, you're just getting later in the show. In fact, there was 3 commercial breaks during the main event.
Yeah, I know. It's really silly. Whenever like last night, Cole and Wade Barrett, who were both red themed. Because they were doing Raw.
It's their first Raw together.
Yeah, it's their first Raw together. Hold on, what's she doing? What's she doing over there? There we go.
Getting comfy.
She's getting comfy. It was great to have Cole and Wade Barrett on commentary. Mm-hmm. I'm really happy with that. I hope they limit the number of words that Kevin Patrick says on Friday. But it was great to have Cole there, and. Is it going to be like Chick Hearn and whoever his broadcast partner's with? Yeah. I still got to watch that. I'm going to try to watch that Winning Time premiere tonight.
Oh, yeah. I got to watch that too.
But yeah, no, he's going to do, you're right. He's going to do the fist thing. Oh, man. Anyways, so yeah, a lot of recaps. No commercials until hours 2 and 3, in which case it was all commercials.
It was all commercials. More commercials than wrestling, it felt like sometimes.
Yeah, so Cody comes out. He's jazzed. He says, Minneapolis, what do you want to talk about? Let's talk about one of your own, a beast that had his claws sharpened here, who is educated here at the University of Minnesota's Owen Brock Lesnar. He says, I've had the privilege and honor and misery of standing across from him surviving. He says, but what happened next? I couldn't imagine. That sounds like a clickbait article. He says they show Brock extending his hand. He says, let's take a look at what happened. And so they show Brock, putting over Cody. He says, I had a conversation with my mom this morning. I shared my shock at that moment. And she says, dummy, yeah. Don't you know what just happened? His mom is LA Knight.
Yeah, LA Knight, yeah.
He says, she said, don't you know what just happened? Brock Lesnar acknowledged you. Ooh. I appreciate that even Cody's mom is using the lingo of the tribal chief.
Exactly. Well, I'm sure it's very intentional verbiage there.
Yeah, right, exactly. He says, after SummerSlam, I feel on top of the world. I feel like I could beat anybody in the world. Well, Roman Reigns didn't come out because he's getting umbrella service because he's got the tribal chief setup. But the guy who wants the tribal chief setup, Seth Rollins, comes down.
But he can't get it.
And he can't get it though. But he's in a good mood, Larson.
Yeah, he is. He's got like a sequins shirt and pants. He's got the cartoonishly huge yellow
Big
boots.
yellow boots. Yeah.
The mischief. Crocs. Mashup boots. He's got some sunglasses on. He comes to the ring, welcomes the crowd to Monday Night Rollins. He says, I came out here to address the future of the World Heavyweight Championship, or like the last time I came out here to address the future of the World Heavyweight Championship. You're the first man to walk down the aisle and get in my face. So consider this returning the favor. Did I hear you right when you said you could beat anyone in the world? If that's the case, let's put that to the test. So before they can start throwing hands, Judgment Day members, Rhea Ripley, Dom Mysterio, Damian Priest, walk out. Priest like, enough. We run Monday Night Raw still. So speaking of things that you don't do, you don't dictate what happens with championships around here. Judgment Day does. More specifically, Senior Money in the Bank does. Look what we have. The most dominant world champion, Rhea Ripley. We have North American champion Dom Mysterio with Cody. You may be done with the Beast, but Dirty Dom ain't done with you. Says you're a workhorse, Seth. He's the workhorse. Tomorrow is defending the title on NXT. What are you going to be doing? And so Dom and Cody step up to each other. And Dom grabs the mic as Cody goads him on, and he's about to talk. Finn then attacks Seth from behind, so there's a huge brawl that breaks out. Sammy joins in. Eventually, the faces clear the ring, and then Seth and Cody start arguing, and Sammy's like, don't argue with each other.
Yeah.
I'm friends with both of you. Let's all get along here.
We're all good. And then Cody's like, okay, listen, I'm a problem solver. I have an idea. How about this? There's 3 of you, even though there's 4. There's 3 of you, and there's 3 of us. So let's get it on tonight. And then and Sammy's like, yeah, let's do it. And then Judgment Day's like, yeah, let's do it. Seth Rollins, not so much.
Because Cody said, how about my friend Sami Zayn, and the World Heavyweight Champion, Seth Rollins. And Seth is like, I'm just a champion to you? I'm not your friend?
No, if that's Seth, okay, so no, that's a good point.
That was like Seth, because when he said that, Seth is like,
I thought it was Seth was upset that he was making decisions for him.
I'm sure that's part of it, but it's interesting the way Cody phrased it. It's like, my friend Sami Zayn and this other guy over here who I actually can't stand, who's a world champion. That's really what I want from him.
Hey, until I hear Seth publicly apologize for taking a literal sledgehammer to his busted pec, I don't want to hear word one about who's a friend Seth Rollins.
Seth, babyface now, that's water on the bridge, brother.
No. I'd be pissed off. I don't care if you're a good guy
you're
now.
Here fighting for Cody's honor.
You're darn right I am. That's just common sense, man. I'm sorry. I don't care if you're a good guy or if all of a sudden you're going around doing Make-A-Wish. If you're the guy who put a sledgehammer to my already ripped off pec and put me like more on the shelf, I guess. It's
ripped off the bone. How much more is it really going to hurt it?
A lot. It's very painful. So yeah, regardless of the issue, Seth did not like that.
No, I just like how Cody phrased it with saying, Sammy's my friend. This other guy's a champion.
No, I did notice that. That, but I was like, yeah, no, that tracks. And there's no way Seth can think that he's Cody's friend.
No.
Oh man. So anyways, after that we see just recaps, just a lot of recaps.
Yeah, it's
backstage.
a lot of SummerSlam recaps. Yeah.
This one's kind of appropriate though. It's Drew and Gunther from Saturday. Backstage, Ricochet's talking with Pierce. He's hyped up. He's like, hey man, Logan hit me with the brass knucks. And Pierce is like, yeah, I'm sorry about that. But listen, Gable, Ciampa, and Riddle walk in. He's like, look, I know things haven't really gone well for the 4 of you lately, but you're all just a single moment from greatness. You're on the precipice. And I hope I can give you another chance to earn that tonight, because it'll be a fatal 4-way between all of you, with the winner getting a chance to face Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. And they all talk a little bit of trash. And then Gable shooshes them all, says, I'm in my hometown, Minnesota, born and raised. What better homecoming than to beat you 3 bros and teach Gunther a lesson he'll never forget. Thank you.
And that match was really, really good. Tons of fun.
No,
a lot of really good
great.
creative stuff.
It was awesome.
I like that Chad Gable was trying to hit a chaos theory on just about everybody, and it kept on getting broken up until the very end. After Ciampa hits Ricochet with a famouser, and then Gable gets in there, hits Ciampa with the chaos theory.
I love that, like, he kept on trying that, and it kept on getting broken up. And when Ciampa sees that he's trying this, and then when he gets it on Ciampa's like, no, and he starts freaking out, and then he gets hit with it. I thought it was it was a really good little moment there.
It was
selling
really
the move. Yeah.
And Gunther's watching backstage. So Gable gets the win. Go watch it. It's really fun. Gable celebrating. Gunther's backstage watching, smiles. And he goes over, picks his son up from the crowd. He's got the singlet on, walking around the crowd celebrating. So then we get some more highlights from Cody and Brock. Cole comments on commentary that in Brock's 20 years in WWE, he's never passed the torch like that to someone like he did Cody. So we see Cody and Sammy backstage chatting. Seth walks up and is like, "Oh, first you want to make decisions for me, then you want to talk strategy behind my back." And Cody's like, "We weren't talking strategy. And don't you want this match? Don't you want to do it? Huh? And Seth says, "I do want the match, but I don't want to team with you." So Sammy's like, "All right, guys, let's take a breath. I know there's history here, some tension. There's a lot here. I don't expect you to solve things overnight. Seth, I don't know about you, but I'm sick of Judgment Day. You dealt with them for months. I dealt with them for months. They put my life in jeopardy. My friend, your friend, our friend, Kevin Owens, on the shelf. They took him out. We have a chance to do something tonight. 3 of the very best stand side by side, and we can deal with Judgment Day once and for all. Can we get past this and be cool?" And Cody's like, "Yeah, I'm totally cool, man.
I'm cool."
And Seth's like, I guess I'm cool.
Doesn't seem very cool, but he says, "I'm cool."
No, it doesn't seem cool at all. So Seth leaves, Cody leaves, and Sammy's just standing there by himself.
Yeah. Then we had the highlights, and that's what it is. We have a Hail to the Chief ceremony.
That's what it is.
Coming up this Friday.
They're going to play the song. Dun, 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 dun.
They should play a track off Hail to the Thief, the Radiohead album.
There we go.
Yeah.
Which one would you play to commemorate such an occasion, Steve?
Is Like Spinning Plates on that, or is that on Kid A?
Yes, it is on that one.
All right, Like Spinning Plates. That one.
I was going to say they're there.
That's good. After that, Nakamura's music hits, not a Radiohead track. He makes his way out because he's got match against Big Bronson Reed.
We skipped over the bit where Miz is walking backstage on the phone, and he's like, it's his photo shoot time, but the photographer assistant was like, "No, sorry, we're going to have to push it because LA Knight's there getting his pictures taken."
Yeah, I was happy about that because I'm like, oh, man, they know LA Knight's a true megastar. He's there on Raw. Good stuff. Alex Silva says, "Do you think they keep?" This is actually a really good point because we didn't really talk about where this is going to go. They keep on teasing Cody versus Seth. Cody wants Roman.
Cody going to get the consolation prize of the title?
I mean, honestly, what they should do, Cody beats Seth clean for a 4th time. Makes all the sense in the world.
Wow.
Walks into WrestleMania title for title against Roman.
So what I was thinking is that maybe they want to have Roman's title reign extend even further past WrestleMania 40.
Yeah.
Put the consolation title on Cody. He can carry that. He can win that, but still be like, this is great and all. Not finishing the story. Establishing even more his consolation title.
Oh man, no! He calls it the consolation prize.
And then Mania 43. Even 44, 4 years down the line, the precipice of the aliens arriving to Earth.
Oh, wow,
Cody finally finishes the story.
Yeah, and the aliens come down. They're like, "Who is your leader?"
And Cody raises his hand and says, "I just finished the story."
I just finished the story, so this could be like another story, but this time it's me versus aliens. And they're like, "You are not a whale." So,
and then they go into the ocean and look for the whales. They hear the
right.
whale song.
Yeah, they hear whale song. Then we had Nakamura versus Big Bronson Reed. And Nakamura took it was like a Kinshasa to the back of the head and then a second Kinshasa flush to the front of the head.
This is a fun match.
This is a really fun match. Yeah, Bronson Reed's great. Bronson Reed should be the big dude in a faction or a leader / big dude. You don't see a lot of that.
Yeah. He should be the enforcer of a faction or leader and enforcer.
What if it's a faction of nothing but big men? What if it's like Bronson Reed, Omos, and Braun Strowman as a faction?
That'd be something else.
They should do that shit. That'd be outstanding.
You know, if they had signed Jay White, it'd been great to have the faction of everybody who's beaten Okada.
I agree. But you know what?
Have Bronson and Nakamura in the same faction.
I would never really advocate for anybody electing to go to the developmental territory that is AEW, but the Bang Bang Gang is a lot of fun. I'm glad
wildly
we get
entertaining.
The Bang Bang Gang. Yeah, for sure.
Wildly entertaining.
Anyways, after that, we get highlights of Rhea Raquel from 3 weeks ago, and once again, we're backstage. Pierce is like, "Raquel, guess what?" Trainer says, "Nah. You're not good to go. And then they have Indy and Candace there, and they're like, they said you're not good to go. They basically said they're like, wow, Raquel, sorry, but the trainer said you can't bristle.
They're like, well, you really want to have this match with Rhea. You can't. You're not cleared. Too bad.
It's like, why are you here? I know what the trainer said.
I know.
Offer up something new.
I know. Whereas like, oh, I'm so sorry. Hey, it's only like 3-4 weeks.
Right.
Then you get your match.
Right.
Look forward. Be optimistic.
I don't need you. I don't need you in my ear. You hear what the trainer said. You can't do it, Steve. I'm like, yeah, I know, dude. I mean, we're close enough that like,
yeah, like I could do that to you.
Right. It would make sense.
But imagine it. In fact, I think if I said to you, hey, I know this sucks now, but just think 3-4 weeks from now, you'll probably be cleared. You get your match. You'll be like, what's with this encouragement? Get out of here with this nonsense.
What is this shit? That's not what I signed up for in this friendship 30 years ago.
All right, here, let me change my tune. Well, that really sucks for you, Steve. Can't wrestle.
That's what I miss. Guess
what I can do.
Yeah, wrestle.
I can wrestle.
You can wrestle. Yeah. Thanks, asshole. Anyways, after that, we've got Becky Lynch coming down.
I got a question.
Yeah, what's your question?
How long was Becky in the ring before she even started doing her promo?
Oh, for a day, forever.
She, between her entrance and when she left after the end of the match, I think it was 30 minutes.
No way.
Yeah, because she made her entrance a little bit after the hour, and I checked the time, and it would have been 9:35 when that match ended.
Oh, you're talking about the Shayna match?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The entire time that she was on
segment
TV.
She was out there. Yeah, she was out there.
30 minutes.
Yeah. I just thought you meant like between her music hitting and her talking, because that was a long time too. Because we had a commercial break, then we had Maxine backstage chatting on the phone with Otis, and Ludwig walks in. He says, "Madam Maxine, what a pleasant surprise! I just came to say congratulations to Gable for his victory, and the Orangevale is ready to wipe the ring with his body again." And she says, "Ew, get out of our locker room." And he says, "I will, but before that, I had my eyes on you for a few weeks. You have unlimited potential, but you have to understand there are people around who are simply better. Look at me, European elegance, A+ aesthetics, A+ everything. Look at you, you're running around with this big, disgusting freak." Then Maxine goes, "Whoop-ah," slaps him. And he says, "Feisty, I like it." And then he turns around. He's like over here. He's like, "Oh, I like it. It's so nice." And then he turns back, and Otis it was actually Otis, but he's morphed from Maxine back into Otis.
Shapeshifter.
Right. And so he says, "I don't know what the hell you're doing in our locker room. Why you have your eyes on the Alpha Queen Maxine, but if you want some action, how about me and you in the ring tonight, pretty boy? Afterwards, you won't be real pretty." And then Kaiser's like, "I'll see you out there. I'll see you too, Maxine." Yes.
Yeah, it's turned to Mr. Deltoid now. Huh?
Yes.
So then we get more highlights, more recap of Becky and Trish from last week. And then Becky eventually, probably about 10 minutes after she made her entrance, finally gets to talk. So she says, "Amanda's come around to Minneapolis. I'm so close to the end. It's been months. I've been fighting, scratching, clawing, overcoming obstacles again and again. I'm tired. I'm worn. But I'm hopeful and ready to put an end to this saga when I get my rematch next week with Trish Stratus, the greatest of that generation versus the greatest of this generation, and the next until infinity. No interference, no Zoe Stark, no looking over my shoulder." So that brings out Zoe Stark.
Yeah, she says, "Wow, obsessed much? This has been over long enough. Trish already beat you. I beat you. But you know what this is? The man is scared of Zoe Stark." "Really? Getting me banned from ringside?" "I know what happened. The man left her balls back home." Becky's like, "What are you doing? I've been in the ring with you twice, and you're good, really good, and you're gifted. Maybe that's the problem. You're too good for your own good. You just want it easy, and that's why you hitched your wagon to Trish, no matter how—" Yeah, I'm just reading this like a friggin' noir movie. "No matter how good you are, you're too stupid to realize she's dragging you in the wrong direction. Shouldn't be playing second fiddle to someone who won't be here next week after I beat her. You hear me now? Yeah?"
Yeah. Gumshoe Steve here.
That's right. So anyways, they go at it a little bit. Shayna Baszler's music hits. She looks like death. She looks a mess.
Yeah.
She's got one eye busted closed.
Yeah.
She's got like her elbows wrapped up. Her other wrist is busted up.
She's got the titanium cast that Cody was wearing on one hand because she busted her thumb, they said.
Right, exactly. Tactical advantage for Shayna Baszler.
Yes.
So she talks some shit to Zoe that leads to a match where Becky sort of like goads them into a match. She's like,
yeah.
Sounds like you guys got some fighting words going on. I have an idea, and I can't think of a better time and place than here and now. So, Adam, come down and make it official. So Pierce comes out. He's got a ref. He says, I'll make it official. Yep. So they've got a match.
They do. Before that match happens, though, we get a highlight package of Finn and Seth at SummerSlam. And then we go backstage, and JD is talking with Finn. And Priest walks up and is like, we need to talk Judgment Day business. Finn says, anything you want to say, you can say in front of JD. I've known him for 20 years. He's heard it all. So Finn, heavy sigh, says, fine. That's your problem. What happened tonight? You didn't come out with us. You attack Seth from behind. You don't tell us what's up. We got to handle your business too. And Finn's like, I went against the plan just like you did on Saturday. And Priest says, that's not on me. I went out there to make sure you won the title, but even with my help, you lost. And Finn says, is that right? Maybe it's because of you I lost. Actually, Priest is right here. Priest says, because he gets right up in Priest's face, and Priest goes, you're crowding me right now. And Finn then says, that contract is crowding both of us. And Priest raises the contract, the briefcase up, and says, is it? And then Rhea runs in and is like, no. We're not going to go through this again. Stop acting like children and act like men. Finn, look at me. Priest was there to help you. We were all there to help you. End of story. It didn't work. I need you to get on the same page so we can keep running Raw. Understand? And then Finn and Priest kind of come to an understanding in Spanish, saying they're cool. So then JD says, it's like, I know it's not my place, and I may be out of line, but I think that briefcase has become between the two of you. Maybe you should get rid of it. So he walks off, as does Finn, and the Priest is like about to go after him. And then Rhea's like, well, he's not Judgment Day. You don't have to listen to him. Yeah. Let's go.
Man, if I was Priest, I'd have taken that briefcase upside that giant head of JD McDon't Google my name. Then we had the actual match of Zoe Stark versus Shayna Baszler. Man, Zoe Stark is so fucking smooth in the ring, dude.
She really is. She
is going to have a long, good career because she is so freaking good. This match was a lot of fun in the end. So Zoe tries to get
Zoe's looking for a Z360 on Shayna, but instead, as Shayna hits the gut wrench, Shayna looks for a Karafuda clutch. Instead, Zoe tosses Shayna out of the ring, hits a dive, and then puts her back in the ring and starts staring at Becky, who's sitting ringside drinking lemonade. So they talk some crap. Zoe gets back on the apron. Shayna puts on the clutch again. Zoe then, snaps Shayna's head over the top rope. And then Shayna hits her with a knee and then hits the world's baddest slam. They're calling Piper's Pit now.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
To get the win. Yeah.
All right. That's cool. Good win for Shayna Baszler there. Teasing a feud with her and Becky as well after she came out. After that, we've got Byron backstage with Shinsuke, who had asked for the interview. He had said, I'm tired of people getting in my way, but not I won. From now on, I carve my own path. And then we hear this big clang, and Shin's like, what the hell is that? And then the camera goes over there because Byron's like, go over there, quick. And it's JD beating the shit out of Sami Zayn, and the camera catches his elbow. It's got, like you said earlier, a bursa sack on it.
Bursa sack. Yeah, he's got some fluid in the bursa sack.
And then the Hurricane and Petey Williams check on Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
And then we had Otis versus Ludwig Kaiser. And then so the finish of this one saw Kaiser falls on Otis. Kaiser falls as Otis rips off his shirt. He sets up for the Caterpillar as Vinci gets on the apron. He suplexes Vinci into the ring. Gunther comes out of nowhere and boots Otis. And Kaiser with Kaiser hits an insecurity for the win here.
Yeah, it's a good win for Kaiser. It's 2 weeks in a row now. He's got some W's.
I know. That's awesome, man. He should keep on racking up those wins. He's got everything. He should not simply be a henchman.
No, neither should Vinci for that matter. So after the match, Imperium, they're beating up Otis. Gable runs out to make the save. Imperium takes their leave, and Gunther just smiles at Gable. There'll be another highlight package, this time of what just happened with JD beating up Sammy. So then Jackie Redmond's backstage outside the trainer's room, and she asks Cody and Seth, who's just kind of like standing out there, what's going on? And Cody says, Seth, you take this interview. I'll catch up with you later.
That's a big dog move right there.
It really is. It really is. And Seth's like, all right.
Yeah.
So Seth says, look, Sammy wants to go, but doctors aren't clearing him, so it's 2-on-3 as far as I'm concerned. I can't trust that guy. So as far as I know it's 3-on-1. Nakamura walks up and says, I know what happened tonight. If you need my help, I'll be your partner. And Seth says, well, Shin, I got a lot of respect for you. Let's ride, baby.
Let's ride, baby. We also should mention that Becky had lemonades. Lemonades.
Yeah.
Had lemonade out there, and everybody was enjoying it. But Wade made sure to say there was nothing bitter about it. Of course, there's a social media post where Becky Lynch making lemonade out of the lemons she was doled out at not being on SummerSlam.
Yes.
So
and then Triple H made some comment about that at the press scrum.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then she did Triple H's, spit.
She did the spit afterwards, yeah.
Yeah.
That was
during
fun
the
stuff.
match.
That was fun stuff.
So then we go to commercial after The Miz makes his entrance. We hear that Nakamura is officially added to the main event. Do you want to be? I'll be Miz. You be LA Knight. Okay.
Yeah.
This is a long promo bit. So Miz says, "Am I missing something? What happened to showing industry leaders like myself proper respect? I come here to find a guy who y'all suddenly love in LA Knight.
Yeah.
I am a veteran. I am a locker room leader. When I came here a long time ago, I was taught respect. When you enter the locker room, you shake the hand of the superstars that paved the way for you to step in this ring. But he not only eliminated me on Saturday, he didn't introduce himself or shake my hand. I am sick and tired of the lack of respect from the crop of new talent."
Yeah, man. So LA Knight, his music hits. Huge pop.
Massive.
Heads down to the ring. And he says, "Let me talk to you. I thought we had a great introduction at the Battle Royal, but if that didn't work for you, allow me to introduce myself with everybody saying, LA Knight, yeah." So he extends his hand.
And The Miz says, "No, you don't deserve to shake my hand. You don't think I've seen guys like you come in here try to ride my coattails? The way I see it, you take away The Miz, you strip away my money, my fame, my accomplishments, my hot wife, every ounce of charisma that I have. You know what you get? You get LA Knight. You're a flash in the pan. You're a flavor of the month. They all love you now, and they'll love you for the next 5 months. They'll buy your shirts because they think you're it. But what I think you are is an Attitude Era fanboy with bad cosplay in my ring."
So Knight says, "So no handshake."
He takes like 2 seconds to pause and think about it.
Yeah, right. He
But
says,
he's not hurt. I didn't get a feeling like he was hurt by anything The Miz said.
No, absolutely not. He says, "Let me be honest. I don't have a problem with you, but you don't want to make this personal."
Personal? I take my career personal. I've been taking my career personal for 20 years. When I got here, people said I would be fired in 3 months. When I got kicked out of the locker room, I took it personal. I'm a 2-time Grand Slam champ, main event at WrestleMania. I am indestructible for 20 years. I do everything they ask me. What have you done for the past 20 years?
So Knight thinks about it. He says, "Okay, so personal it is." He says, "What have I done? I made myself a dangerous man. What does that mean? It means I clawed and scratched doing everything I needed to do. While this place bet on the wrong horses, you being one of them. Meanwhile, this thoroughbred is running a parallel path, albeit a bit rocky, just waiting for an opening. Here you are with a 20-year head start. You know why you got that head start? Because you're safe. You know what that means? They knew they could smack you around and kick you out of the locker room, and what did you do? You took it. The line with me was, we're not ready to take a chance on you. You know why? I'm a dangerous man. You want to kick me out and slap me around? No. Papa don't take no mess. I'm not to be messed with. That's the difference between me and you. All that said, you became every champion in this place, and good on you. I haven't been there yet, but here I am on the climb, and your career's in the damn toilet. But I tell you what, I don't mind you being a stepping stone." And then Miz kicks up. He's like, "I'm not a stepping stone."
I'm
he's
not a stepping stone.
He's like, no, I'm not talking about your little stepping stones down there. Talking about me walking over you towards the main event where I belong.
And Miz screams, "Main event? I am the main event. You're not on my level."
That's a really interesting theory. You think I'm not on your level, but looking you dead in the eye right now. So if you think I'm not on your level, why don't you prove me wrong? I'm not going anywhere.
So Miz takes off his jacket. He's about to throw hands, and then he picks up the jacket, throws it to LA Knight, and starts punching him. Yeah, looking for a skull-crushing finale, but then LA Knight counters to a BFT. Yeah! And he shakes Miz's hand as Miz is down there selling the BFT.
Yeah, it was good stuff, man. I was happy that it got such a great reaction, too, on Twitter, because I wasn't sure, because LA Knight, he wasn't doing like you said earlier, he wasn't as Teflon as he usually was, and I was curious how people would respond to an LA Knight who's a little bit out of his comfort zone. He's trying to do a little bit more than he usually does.
Indeed. Yeah, a bit more introspective, if you will.
Mm-hmm. So then we had a weird Viking Raiders promo where they were outside of their bonfire or whatever. They're like, "We are the Viking Raiders." It's like, Keith, The gods call and we answer. We
Brother.
challenge anyone to bring us battle and be sacrificed to the gods. And then this is kind of buried in everything, man. The fucking New Day came back.
I know. Their gear looked great.
It looked amazing. I was just like, shouldn't this be in like a more prominent spot? Because it's like the fucking New Day are back.
I know.
Which was awesome. It was great.
I know. It's great to have it back. It is great. They get the win here, too. Kofi hits Trouble in Paradise, takes out Eric on the outside, and then Woods hits the top rope elbow drop on Ivar to get the win. It's so good having the New Day back on television.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. No, it's awesome. It's awesome. Hopefully they get back into the mix of things.
I hope so.
So after that, Becky's backstage with Byron. He asks her about her rematch. Shayna walks up and says, I didn't need your help tonight, not now or ever. Now that I've taken care of Ronda, I have a whole list of scores to settle, so I'm coming for the man sooner or later. Becky says, I'm looking forward to it.
Yep. And then we get a New Day interview. Kofi asks Jackie, who are you? And Jackie says, I work here. I just want to get a word with you guys. And Woods says, you don't even have to ask. Kofi says, did they say that they were making a sacrifice to the gods? What? I think they forgot that we are the gods of this tag team division. And the Woods says, you work here. You've seen the new Street Profits. The Usos are falling apart. We need to inject some positivity into this place, and we want to become your new WWE World Tag Team Champions. Because you know why? Because New Day rocks. New Day rocks.
We just need Big E on commentary. Wouldn't that be fucking amazing if they added him to Raw commentary?
That'd be amazing.
And you have the New Day out there. That'd be, my
please.
gosh. That'd be so much fun.
Yes, please.
After that, commentary discusses Sonya Deville's torn ACL, wishes her the best. And then we get our main event, Judgment Day versus Seth freaking Rollins, Cody Rhodes, and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah.
We have a bit of but before all that happens, Finn, there's obviously some tension between Finn and Priest, and then Rhea whispers to Dom, and Raquel comes out of nowhere, wipes out Rhea, chucks her into the barricade, lows in a bunch of punches. Referees break it up. Rhea breaks free. They brawl again. Candice and Indy come out to hold Raquel back. Rhea grabs Indy, throws her and Candice into the barricade as the women keep brawling. So it seems obvious over the next 2 weeks, Rhea's just going to annihilate those two in the ring.
Yeah.
Candice takes
Rhea
out
chucked
Rhea.
her shoe at Candice.
Yeah. And then so everybody gets ripped apart. We come back and Dom is calming down Rhea a little bit. And it was, man, their chemistry is so damn good.
Oh,
it is
awesome.
so damn
it's
good.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's really awesome. Fun match here. Of course, Judgment Day couldn't get along, or at least Priest and Finn on the other side of the ring. Cody and Seth had their own issues. It seemed like the only kind of steadying forces for each team was Dom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Nakamura.
Yeah, right.
Although by the end, it was clear that Nakamura had some ulterior motives in this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the finish here saw Cody hits the super kick. Cody cutter gets a 2. Dom breaks it up. Nakamura hits a kick to Dom, but then Priest wipes out Nakamura. Seth then takes out Priest, but then Finn takes out Seth. Cody's looking for a crossroads, but then Rhea gets on the apron. Damian hits Cody with the briefcase. So then Sammy runs out of the ring. He throws Priest over the top rope. And Finn has the case, and he's looking at Cody, who's getting back to his feet. He's looking at Seth. He's looking at Cody. He's looking at Seth. And rather than hitting Cody, maybe win the match for his team, he sprints right to Seth, right into a super kick from Seth.
Mm-hmm.
And then Cody hits a crossroads on Finn to get the win.
Big dummy.
Massive.
Yeah. So Cody and Shinsuke are celebrating. Seth and Sammy are on the outside, and Seth tells Sammy, go join them. They all hug and stand tall. Cody and Seth are starting to talk, but they're like not, I don't know if Seth was upset that Cody took the win or what the deal was, but they're not into each other. But then eventually they get on the same page, and Seth's like, all right, fine, let's celebrate.
Yeah.
And then, Shinsuke hits Seth with a Kinshasa.
Yeah, after he gets off the turnbuckle celebrating. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So let's go and answer some questions. Why don't we?
Yeah.
Zyshawn Moore here says, what do you think is the best outcome for the Judgment Day going forward with the story? They're telling about Damian Priest's briefcase being bad luck for them. That should be it. It should be like the briefcase is simply bad luck.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
It shouldn't be like the briefcase is coming between them. It should literally be it's bad luck. Where
It's
even Priest
supernatural.
is like, I want nothing to do with this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he like steps into like a pothole and rolls his ankle, you know.
Like he just comes to the ring. It's like, I'm just leaving this here. Good luck with anybody else who tries to cash this in.
Yeah, this year is simply cursed, you know.
Yeah.
People get it. They tear their ACL and shit.
Oh, my goodness. JR Jr. here says, swap one faction from AEW for one faction in WWE and rename them to fit their new home.
The Elite are called the WW Elite.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Take Alpha Academy.
Oh.
Elite
okay,
Academy.
Yeah. The Elite Academy. There you go.
Yeah.
The All Alpha Wrestling.
There you go.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, Alpha Elite
Alpha
Wrestling.
Elite Wrestling. That's what it'd be. Sorry, yeah. Let's see here. Nope. Already talked about that. Not going to do that. Here we go. Elemental Giant. If you had to choose one to be the next women's world champion out of Shayna, Becky, or Zoe, who would you choose?
Shayna.
Yeah, it'd be Shayna.
Shayna
versus Rhea would be a hell of a feud.
really would be.
That'd be a really good feud.
Edward here says, Triple H at SummerSlam press conference basically told everyone to trust the process when asked about things pertaining to storylines and characters, and the Judgment Day stuff I thought was very good personally. So do you guys think one of his goals is to restore benefit of doubt and trust back in the company? Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, it totally should be. Yeah, and I definitely think it is, yeah. Because he has talked about that a lot, like, hey, just give it time. Which, to this day, a lot of people are not, they don't give them the benefit of the doubt. For good reason. It's been fucking decades.
Yep.
This is a good question, given that we do our star ratings over at the Friendo Club Wrestling channel. Carlos Diaz says, what does a Steven Larson 6-star match rating include?
It's got to be a story that I'm engrossed in, I'm captivated by, that I have an emotional response to.
Right, yeah.
And that story has to be present not just in terms of how the characters in the ring relate to another, but also in the ring work itself.
Yeah, right.
I think first and foremost it's about the story. If the story is really good and I'm really into it, and it's got stakes, massive stakes. Yeah. First and foremost. I mean, of course, the wrestling has to be good, but
for me, it would be L.A. Park versus Viano 4.
Yeah.
Where it's two really old men who are just super violent with each other. The masks are just completely torn to shreds, but you can't see the faces because there's so much blood there.
Yeah.
And then a non-conclusive ending.
Wow, that's what you want. I heard Homer here in chat ask, how many stars does End of an Era get?
Oh, dude. I mean, that would be like,
in a lot of ways, that's what I'm talking about. That's my template.
That would probably be a 6-star match for me.
For me, it would be. Yeah.
Probably. My God.
Match is so good.
God, that match is so good.
The ring work is like clean and crisp.
Yeah, right.
The story's fantastic. Performances are off the charts.
Yeah. And the history there. Like, there's some things you simply can't manufacture. Like a lot of history,
Yeah. Oh, White Brownie here says Endeavor via their press release said the WWE deal is now expected to close mid to end September.
Wow, they fast-tracked that one.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah, I get it done within 5 months.
That's crazy, yeah.
That is.
JD is LA says, how long before Bianca joins the new Bobby Street Profits faction? I would friggin' love that. I'll be honest with you. I think it'd be unique. I think that'd be really cool. And you see it already, a similar blueprint with Judgment Day, where it's like, well, Rhea could be the leader, like Triple H said, could be Rhea the leader, could be Finn the leader, could be Damian the leader, just not Dominic.
Not Dom. Yeah.
Not Dom. Yeah, absolutely. I think, God, that'd be so cool. That would be so awesome.
That would be pretty cool.
It'd be unique.
It would be.
I don't know if it's going to happen, but I think it'd be cool.
I think it'd be cool too. B-Man here says, what wrestlers have had a personal impact on you as sort of inspiration, motivation to you or your goals? Mox talking about a struggle with alcoholism hit home for me, dealing with my own 3-month sober day every little bit helps.
That's awesome, man. That's great, man. That's fantastic. I mean, dude, I'll be honest with you. Cody Rhodes.
He's going to say Cody. Yeah,
Cody Rhodes, just everything about his life, his journey, his story is inspirational. I hope that maybe one day if I really work hard, then I can finish my story, I guess.
You too can finish the story, huh?
Yeah, sure.
What does finishing your story entail?
Oh, man, going to Del Taco, baby.
Oh, you can finish that story anytime, man.
I can do it whenever I want to.
Just down the road. Just down the road.
It's just down the road. I can go there right now if I wanted to.
Totally could.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you inspired by any wrestlers, Larson?
There's aspects of wrestler stories. I'm like, oh, wow, that's really neat. Like you listen to Mick Foley.
Oh, yeah, right.
Talking about getting to wrestling and in a lot of respects, he's not the type of wrestler you would expect to become WWE champion one day,
right.
Especially in WWE, because he's not 6'5", 280 pounds of pure muscle.
Yeah.
He got by on putting his body on the line and being one of the best promos in the history of the business and being an outstanding character regardless of what you gave him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's elements of that I'm like, okay, that is inspiring,
You know what I'll say? I'll pivot to this one real quick. And it's simply because, the field that we're in, I always like this kind of stuff. I was always kind of like really impressed with Adam Cole taking the brand that he had built and creating chugs from that, where he does not talk about wrestling. It's a separate thing. He used his platform to launch, a passion project of his. And I thought that's really cool. Like, I don't know how it would relate to me, like, but whatever. I think it was really cool. And I like when I appreciate that. I'm not going to run anybody down, but I appreciate that than other wrestlers who come into the podcast space to politic their way into AEW tag titles. That's going to do it for the show today. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. Until next time, we'll talk to